Okay, this might be bad. Classroom Elite Season 2, Episode 1. Season 2 is finally here, first of all, so congratulations to Studio Larchi finally releasing this after 5 years, I believe it is. Great episode, first of all. I could say it was a good episode. It was entertaining to watch. If you guys haven't checked out the reaction, go check that out straight away. I got my thoughts in there. But, you know, we obviously started the Zodiac exam, which I can't really call the Zodiac exam anymore. We'll go through why in a bit. But we're going to talk through the cut content today, what was cut, what was rearranged, and just my thoughts overall on where we're going in the future of this series. So, first of all, I love seeing the characters' interactions again, like seeing Kay get her scenes. Kay has finally surpassed the amount of lines she has had in Season 1, so can we get claps for Kay in the chat, okay? That's what I want to see. Can we get a W for Kay? Love seeing that. Now, let's go for the cut content. I got a few notes. This is not going to be fully scripted like a normal video because there's so much. If I went through every single cut, I'll pretty much be covering the full volume. And there are some people, if you cover the whole volume, so if you want to check out those videos, go check them out. When it comes to later volumes of Volume 7+, then go check out my videos on that. So, first of all, let's start with the big elephant in the room. And that is the Zodiac exam, which was sort of changed to a planetary exam. In the light novel, we had a special test. All the first year students will be divided into 12 groups based on the signs of the Zodiac. And then they're questioning, oh yeah, 12 signs of the thing of the Zodiac. But in the anime, it's different. Instead, we have 8 groups. And it's sort of doing something a little bit different to the light novel here, which isn't bad at first, but then when you take a little bit of a deep dive into it, you understand that it could actually be very detrimental for later volumes in the series. Let's talk about why. So we have 8 groups, and in these 8 groups, we have 14 students each. But the one thing I really want to pay attention to is when it goes and focuses on Class D. It shows 24 students, and obviously 1 being the VIP. That means 25 students per class, meaning this could be a problem. This could be a big problem. The reason being is in later volumes, we're going to need more students, and there's a lot of exams will require more than 25 students. So I believe in S1, they might have had 40, or they might have less. I haven't watched S1 in a while. But that means we have 25 students rather than the 40 in the light novel, and this could be bad. So we're missing 15 students pretty much, and I'm just thinking, how are they going to do Volume 5? Spoiler alert. Well, it covers the sports exam, or the sports festival. Volume 10, what covers the class vote exam, and in Volume 11, what is the final exam, where you have every student doing some certain things. So this means later in Season 3 and other seasons, we're sort of going to get a situation where the exams are going to be changed yet again. And at first, I didn't notice this, and I went into, you know, reading some stuff online, reading some stuff with other people, and I realized, yeah, this could work, or this could be bad. So at the moment, I guess I'm leaning more towards a bad thing, but I could be optimistic. I could say, hey, oh, this could actually work out, and if anyone is confused, the light novel has 40 people per class, and this comes into play with a lot of people's dialogue later, with the 40 people in class, and just how some events play out within the story. Interesting, though. Very, very interesting, and I wonder how we're going to get past this. So the other thing is 12 things for 12 groups, right? And that used to be every Zodiac. So dragon, snake, rabbit, all those. If you know the 12 Chinese Zodiacs, you should know yours, right? So that's actually changed to planets now. Instead, we have a lot of other different planets, what I really need to like look at again. We have Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. So every planet in our solar system, pretty much, that's what they're doing instead of the Zodiac thing. And I thought this might have been to help out people, but realizing that they've cut so many students out, let's just assume they're not going to get added back. This, yeah, like I said, this will affect later events. Now let's move on to the next point. I guess we could talk about just basic stuff, what was cut in the light novel. That was the main thing I had to go through, and I guess that's like the main worry I have. If I wanted to end the video right there, I could, but there are some basic stuff first of all. So this adapted around up to my volume, what I have on PDF. This adapted up to page 108, and this is where ItzAzuSensei say, and you trust your teammates. And obviously the episode ended sometime after that, but the episode actually ended where Volume 4 would sort of start with Kay's monologue and introduction. I can't really say that got cut yet. And first of all, nice detail. I know some of you are looking at Kay's boobs. I know some of you are down bad like that. But if you notice under her left boob, I guess you could say, you saw a little bit of a scar. It was censored on some website, but I'm pretty sure I'm safe to show this. I'll show it for a few seconds. You see a little scar on the Kay's left boobie. So nice seeing that there. Not boobs, obviously. I mean the scar, like attention to detail. That's what I'm trying to say. I was not looking at her boobs like that. But nice detail there, and it really questions, like, Kay start crying in the shower after the situation with Manabe, and I'm questioning now if that's gonna get cut, her monologue-wise, or if it will be in the beginning of next episode. Now, also there was a conversation with, obviously, Duen and Katsuragi cut, and some Sakura stuff too, but after talking with some people, nothing really happened in these conversations for me and they could be rearranged for later. So me saying it now could be either spoiling some anime release here right now, but there are some conversations with Katsuragi and Yuen and with Sakura, from what I know, Sakura ID. So those are the main stuff what were cut, and then obviously like we have to talk about this fast pacing over here. So already on chapter 3, almost about to breach chapter 4, we can assume this has 2 more episodes left, or at most it has episode and a half. So very interesting here, and another point I want to bring up is Yuen's deduction of this exam. So, in the light novel, yet again, spoilers for anyone if you want to watch this or not. I'll tell you to skip to a certain part, maybe, I don't know, I have to see. So Yuen obviously deducted all the VIPs in the exam, but this might work a little bit differently because of just the groups wise, and I don't know what's going to happen. A lot of confusing stuff, but I'm trying to stay optimistic and really just go through everything, because there's so much, I guess you could say, what was cut, but for me to go through every little detail will be me covering pretty much maybe like a 30-minute video each, and the editing on that would be taxing, so I won't be able to like really get my main thoughts across. So I'll just pretty much be talking about what was cut, and that means the video could be and actually end up reaching 40 minutes or 50 minutes, which would be insane to do every week. I'd probably end up crying, I'm not gonna lie. Another thing what was cut was a conversation between Kiyotaka and Konji, where he's pretty much being Chad Konji. Not really too important for the thing, is this obviously an interaction between Kiyotaka and Konji, and that's learning more about Konji's personality, him flipping his hair, and just talking to Kiyotaka and, you know, talking down to him almost, but that's a nice detail there, but not too important compared to other stuff. And then we need to talk about the Hirata scene. So with Hirata, it was kind of different. He was saying, oh yeah, we're gonna go eat with Karuizawa's group, we're gonna eat with Kei's group, and Kiyotaka was, no, I'm not really on good terms since the island type of thing with Kei's. I believe it was Kei's panties from what I remember. Someone stole them. So what happened here was Hirata was gonna call Kei, saying, yeah, I'm gonna not go with her. We can just have lunch together. And he was asking Hirata, oh yo, don't do this. Is it okay? Are you sure it's okay? And then they sort of made their way to, he sort of made his way to guide Kiyotaka, and they sort of went in the dorm type of room area. And, you know, Hirata thanked him for helping him finding the culprit, I guess you could say, in a desert island exam. And it played out really differently. They talked about Ibuki and how she really was under the stuff. So a lot of stuff I'm really confused about, but I guess yet again, it's not too important. It's just like, I guess you could say it's important for more of these character relationships rather than progressing the end goal. All of the end goals will still be the same. It's just like how we get there will be different. So if any anime onlys are here saying, oh my god, are the big stuff going to be changed? Yes and no at the same time. The end goals will be the same. I can't really see them ever changing the end goals, but for now, it's fine. It could work, but I have my worries at the same time. Now, I heard a lot of people actually had a bad translation. In, I think the first translation what came out and some stuff, if you guys didn't watch on Crunchyroll. First of all, when the episode started, it was Manabu and Tachibana talking, and he says, his voice clearly says class D1, but some of the translations said class B, and then there was also a translation where they're talking about case 2, and that was where everybody sort of gets 500,000 points in a certain case of winning the exam. In some of these translations, they said 50,000 points. So if anyone's saying, like, if anyone's about to comment, hey, oh no, they said 50,000. That's actually a mistranslation. Crunchyroll's got the right one. They said 500,000. So I don't know what really happened on Moo's Asia's end, or just all of these other translations ends, but there were a lot of errors. So I guess if you first watch an episode and see some stuff are off, just wait a little bit, wait a few hours to see how other translations were, and then we can sort of see if stuff were changed. Also, if you guys have any more things what were changed, let me know down below, because I guess we could talk about it next week, and we could sort of like see where the anime is going to get chosen from here. Then we could talk about the Horikita and Kiyotaka conversation, where they sort of talked about Ichinose a little bit and talked about who was in whose group. Mainly just going through like the groups and saying, oh, who's in your group, who's in your group. It sort of played out the same, but the only different part was them sort of talking about everyone's skills, maybe like Yuen, Katsuragi, Kiyotaka figured about that, and Ichinose. It played out the same. Once the clock reached 8, their phones beep simultaneously, and they stopped reading the comments at the same time, and they realized, hey, they have not been chosen as VIP. So that played out the same way I liked. And then obviously one last thing in this Yuen conversation was Yuen putting, I guess, his phone under the table to record the audio, but that was sort of cut out. And I don't know if Kiyotaka would have another conversation again if Yuen bring up he recorded this, but Yuen did sort of record their audio and walk away. So they decided not to say anything careless. But that wasn't an anime, so I'm confused like what they're sort of going to do there. Just a lot of things we can go from. Mainly Yuen, I guess, was the big cut within the episode with him. Talking to Katsaki was cut, obviously. It wasn't the most important conversation. And then there was obviously this with him recording the conversation between Kiyotaka and Horikita. Now, I assume a lot of people are confused about the Zodiac exams. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit. I've got most of the cut content out the way, most of the important stuff. We've sort of gone through how the class thing might affect future volumes, like volume 5, volume 10, and volume 11, with some of the participants needed and some of the people doing stuff. That would be interesting to see how they rearrange that. Now, the Zodiac exam. We have to go through a lot of things here, because I know there are a lot of people who don't understand it, so let me just explain it briefly. And trust me, it wasn't just the anime onlys. I got confused when I first read this, and I had to read it many times. Eventually, I just let it sort of play out how it did, and I guess I just got it along the way. So obviously, you have to guess a VIP, right? In every group. And they went through the rules on how to guess this VIP, right? So explanation on the group. Every group is assigned a VIP. On the first day, a student will receive a text saying you are the VIP. The day after, the test begins and ends on the 4th day at 9 PM. You are completely free to do whatever you want on this first day. Each group should gather twice a day at a predetermined time in a predetermined room to talk for 1 hour, and they may discuss anything in this room about who could be the VIP. After the test is concluded, the school will only accept answers during the period between 9:30 and 10 PM on the final night. During that, they sort of have to, text who is the VIP, and each individual may only submit 1 answer. Answers can only be sent by email address, and the school will provide them to each group, only using their mobile devices, of course. It says the 12 VIPs cannot submit answers, but I don't know how much it is in the anime, because it's 8 groups now, so I was only go through that type of thing, but in the light novel, there's 12. So the VIPs are not allowed to submit answers, and the test results will be sent via email at 11 PM on the final day. And then obviously, let's go for the outcomes. I guess they call these cases. So the outcome 1, if an answer is submitted by the group after 9:30 on the final day, and that's correct, then everybody in the group will receive points, including the VIP's classmates who belong to the group. And then outcome 2, if a group fails to submit an answer between 9:30 PM and 10 PM on the final day, or if the other VIP and their classmates submit an incorrect answer, then the VIP will be rewarded 500,000 points. For example, let's say Yukimura was chosen as the VIP. Correct answer for Mars's group or Rabbit's group in the light novel would be Yukimura, and the answer would be shared with all the members in their group. Then the test will conclude at 9 PM, and at the end of the 3rd day, the school will accept answer submissions only between 9:30 PM and 10 PM. During that time, each member of the group should submit the name Yukimura in a message and email it to the school, and then their group would pass, and they would confirm you were rewarded with outcome 1. Thus, every member would be rewarded with 500,000 points. In addition, the VIP will be getting double the amount, which would be 1,000,000 points, if you guys are following. Then for outcome 2, if the VIP's identity is not discovered at the end of the exam, and nobody in the group has found that identity of the VIP, or even some decided to lie about it, then only the VIP will be rewarded points. He or she will receive 500,000 points due to this. So I guess you could say outcome 1 and 2 are sort of the same, but outcome 2 sort of benefits the VIP more. Kay sort of argues saying everyone's going to be jealous of the VIP, saying, yo, everybody, if they get 500,000 points and get 1,000,000, it's sort of unfair. And of course, that's a given. After that, they asked Mashima to explain outcomes 3 and 4. And he obviously said, if you can't understand the first 2, then we cannot continue. And I'm just like, yeah, a lot of you guys probably can't continue. So keep rewinding that part of the video and just keep rewatching it. And I will help you guys in the comments too if you want as well. Mashima did actually help with this though. He says, I'm going to explain it in simpler terms and ask if they played the game Werewolf, right? So Werewolf, it's a game that's been popular for a while, and they said it's pretty interesting. But obviously, Kiyotaka did not know about Werewolf being for the White Room and all. If you get together your friends and you divide up as villagers and wolves, the one who survives at the end is the winner, right? There's no limit on the players you can have, but the minimum in order to play, you need several roles, including the villager and the wolf. There seem to be other various roles, but the most important things were if the villagers or wolves survived. The game has 2 time periods. During the day, everyone gets together and talks about the wolves, pretending to be villagers, the players who are suspected of being wolves and executed. So it's pretty much like Mafia. If you guys know Mafia, that's pretty much what it is. I don't know if you guys have it different in the US, but in the UK, we have a game called Mafia. We sort of just like, everybody gathers and then the Mafia can kill some people and whoever's voted out. There's a mix of like Among Us as well. It's just, you need to guess the sus one. You need to guess the imposter in this thing. So if you guys are confused, just think of Among Us really without the killing. And you just sort of need to talk with the group and deduct who this VIP is, who the imposter is. It's pretty much Among Us the exam without the killing, am I right? These phases repeat and repeat, and obviously on the last day, they have to text who was the VIP. And there's obviously no one getting eliminated. It's more just a deduction process on them trying to figure out who the VIP is. Outcome 3. So this is when someone other than a VIP gives an answer to the school without waiting until 9:30 PM. So if this is to happen, then that student's class will gain 50 class points, and also they will receive 500,000 class points. But if they are to do this and they get this correct, then the VIP will lose 50 class points as a penalty. If that was to happen, the group's testing period would come to an end. But if one of the VIP's classmates is the person who submits the correct answer, this will not be counted, and the test will continue. So, obviously, if you're just a random guy, you're not the VIP, and you sort of guess someone who is the VIP, then I'm going to get 50 class points for my class, and I'm also going to get 500k private points. So that's pretty good. But then, if I was to do that, I'm sort of fucking over the VIP. They're going to lose 50 class points, but there is one way to avoid this, and that's if the VIP's classmate sort of submits the correct answer, then this isn't counted, and the test is going to continue. So if you guys get that, I hope you do. And then we have outcome 4. The outcome is triggered when someone other than the VIP gives an incorrect answer. So rather than before it was correct answer and outcome 3, this is an incorrect answer. This is the same thing, but incorrect. So if they give this before 9:30 p.m. on the final day of the exam, the student's class will lose 50 class points, and a VIP will earn 500,000 class points. So if I decide to go like, ayo, I think Ayano is the VIP, but I'm actually wrong, then I'm going to lose 50 class points for my class. My class is going to be pissed off at me, and Ayano is going to get 500 class points plus 50 class points for his thing. If that has to happen, then the testing period ends for the group who submitted the incorrect answer. But if one of the VIP's classmates is the person who submits it, it won't be counted, and the test will continue. So pretty much the same. It's just sort of reversed in the roles of the rewards, if you guys get that. And Kiyotaka sort of thought about if the VIPs just carelessly out themselves, and if they do, you know, traders may prey upon them. That sort of wraps it up for the VIP exam. I hope you guys sort of get that, or the Zodiac exam. We're just going to call it the VIP exam. That's what I used to call it anyway. So sadly, the Zodiac exam is no more. So I hope you guys get that. So now let's run through all of that again. Obviously, if you guys want to rewind, just keep watching that bit. I'm going to sort of like put it in a little chapter thing so you guys can keep going back and see the Zodiac exam explained. So basic stuff was cut, like the UN placement, him hiding a phone from Harikta to the recorded conversation, his conversation with Katsuragi, and obviously the ID conversation with Kiyotaka, and also the Hirata conversation with Kiyotaka was a little bit different, didn't play out the same. There's that, or they could also be rearranged. Then we have the basic stuff, which obviously Ayano Koji's inner monologue about him sort of deducting stuff, thinking, what approach should we take? How should I do this? And this is where Kiyotaka's emotions come into play. Things what he wouldn't really think in anime. Obviously, he says stuff out loud and has little inner dialogue, but this is where the inner dialogue is really important for Ayano Koji. We get to see how he really thinks about people, how he really thinks about the situation of the exam, and how things are sort of deducted. Those are the basic stuff that were cut. Then we have the people and the classes. So in the light novel, it is 40, but in the anime, it is 25. So this may affect Volume 5, Volume 10, and Volume 11, where stuff are needed. Some more students are needed for certain events. So therefore, when you get to Volume 5, it might be a little bit different. Then again, I have to cover that again. But there are other videos on YouTube going through the whole volume. I have Volume 7, 11, and 11.5. I may have to do some other ones if they really get that bad with the cuts. So, a lot of stuff are done here. I'm really happy about that. Nice little episode, though. Really happy about seeing K's stuff. K's monologue, we might get that at the beginning of next episode. But overall, I'm really happy with it. 7 out of 10 episode. I guess the content wasn't as strong as you would want it to be anyway. I guess if you're really hyped about it returning, then you could say 8 out of 10. But for me, like, the content isn't as a spicy point yet. So we won't really be getting spicy stuff until next episode, and the episode after will be phenomenal. So I really can't wait to see where they take it. They're doing a good job so far in the seiyus, the character designs, and I guess the overall voice acting. It's just some of the stuff in the light novels what's getting cut, but it shouldn't affect the end goal. How we get there will be affected, but like I said, the end goal won't. So, any other worries, let me know in the comments, and I will help. Join the Discord too. I can help you. I can help pretty much explain that. There should be some other people in the Discord to help as well. We'll talk through it, and hopefully I can get you guys up to speed on what's going on in the anime. So if you guys haven't, I appreciate like sub. Trying to get to 10k. Any subs your boy would appreciate. Trying to get 10k by the end of the month. Got a lot of other content coming. I do cover volumes of Classroom Elite. We're on year 2 right now. The whole volumes, they're usually like an hour plus videos. Going for the whole volumes. If you guys want to go check that out, the playlist should be down below. I'm excited for this season. Really can't wait to see some scenes adapted. Can't wait to see Spread Your Legs adapted too. Amazing though. I'll see you next time. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Sensei, out.